It was one of the hottest and catchiest songs back in the day. Still is, sort of, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Remember the new wave band Devo and their 1980 monster hit, Whip It?
Now whip it into shape. Shape it up. Get straight. Go forward. Move ahead. Try to detect it. It's not too late to whip it. Whip it good.
I mean, you can't get it out of your head
Right?
now,
I
right?
know.
Remember
Too late.
Whip It? All right, so from new wave to new wine. Devo co-founder Gerald Casale has uncorked his winery. You've created your own brand of wine. We welcome you. You are now you have a vineyard. I mean, you've come quite a way from the haystacks
Really full
of
circle.
Whip It.
A lot of people don't see the connection, but really there is one.
Really?
You have
Okay.
to ask you first about Devo itself.
Yeah.
The hats.
Yes.
Where did that come from? I'm sure it's well documented.
This came from a
Oh, you now
fixture.
use the hats as an ice bucket. That's
It was a fixture
tremendous.
that hung in my grade
So it really
school.
was.
And I kept looking at it all the time. It was white milk glass Deco. And I never forgot it. And when we were gearing up for the Freedom of Choice album, I got a hold of one of them. And I just altered it into
Hats.
a plastic red hat.
Wow.
Wow. My parents in the 80s had wall sconces just like that.
Sure.
So it was definitely
Art Deco.
a style that I'm glad has passed.
I removed one ring and made it head size. And our secret was we always put hard hat liners inside so that they stayed on really well.
Funny.
But none of the fans knew that, so they'd buy them and put them on, and they'd flop around really dumb and fall off. Yeah,
They thought it was magic.
magic.
So tell us the story of what is the connection between being in the 80s new wave band and
I would have never
having an
discovered
award-winning
good
winery.
wine and food if it hadn't been for Devo.
Oh, I see.
When we got signed, we moved right from Ohio to Los Angeles, signed with Warner Brothers, and we happened to land in the middle of the new food revolution that California started in the 70s. That's when I met Wolfgang Puck, Michael McCarty of Michael's Restaurant, Piero Salvaggio, Valentino, Bruce Martyr of West Beach Cafe, and now Capo. And these guys were young and new, starting out, and they were changing the food scene. And we jokingly called them new wave chefs because they were bucking all the trends, and they started farm to table then. And they turned me on to food and wine.
And incredible, you've been very successful here. Delicious wines. We've both had a little taste, and it was very good. In fact, this one here, an award winner,
Yeah.
Wine
The Pinot
Enthusiast,
Noir.
94 points.
Yeah.
You've done pretty well.
Yeah, I lucked out because we, you know, it's like with anything else. It's you start with good ingredients. You can't. It's like a song. You can't fix a stiff. You have to start with a good riff. Like Whip It had a good riff, and all we did is didn't ruin it. Food's the same way, and wine's the same way. You start with great fruit, great grapes, and don't ruin them. And in 2012, and now again in 2013, the fruit in Sonoma and Napa was perfect. The weather happened to be perfect, and we just don't ruin it.
Now, the 94-point rating on your Pinot Noir, it's been described as an ethereal, feminine Pinot,
Yeah.
sublime in color and texture, bright and tart cherry. I have zero palate when it comes to wine. I drink the box wine. I think it's delicious. But, I mean, when you say something like feminine, I mean, describe how do you get a certain flavor for these types of wines, and how do they come up with these adjectives to describe them?
Well, they wax poetic.
Okay.
But Pinot Noir is a great grape because there's low tannin in the skin. And unlike Cabernet Sauvignon and all the great big wines that are like the guys that go, step up, you know, let's drink this one, where you got so much tannin in the wine that it's no good for 10 years. Pinot Noir, it peaks at around 3 or 4 years and then stays and levels off. So you can drink this with a lot of different kinds of food. And it's seductive. That's what makes it feminine.
I fell in love.
And I
Real
like
quickly.
girls. So,
If you want to check this out and it's worth it, you don't have to go all the way to Napa.
Right.
no.
You can do it tomorrow. There's a tasting party in Beverly Hills at Wally's, 1 to 4. It's the 50 by 50 wine tasting. That's the name of your wine.
I will be there.
And your
Signing bottles.
and your winery in Napa Valley And do your former bandmates come to this winery?
Your former fans?
They haven't as of yet,
They haven't as yet.
but Mark drinks the wine.
All right. Thanks, Gerald.
I can see why.